Okay, now boys and girls, I'm going to start another class on physics for class 10. And the name of the chapter is here, chapter number 12, and that is magnetic effect of current. And that is magnetic effect of current. Okay. In my previous class, I'm going to discuss about the mathematical working function of a transformer. I repeat, the working function of a transformer. Okay. Especially in my previous class, I'm going to discuss about the mathematical working function of a transformer. Okay. You see, boys and girls, that a transformer has a two part. Okay, two side. Okay, one side is here, this side. Okay, this side is called input side or primary side. This side is called input side or primary side. Okay, and you also see that this side. Okay, this side is called secondary side or output side. You see, at the primary side, you can plug this transformer to a line voltage. And what does it mean by line voltage? The voltage that is supplied by your home from our national electricity board, okay, or from our national powerhouse, okay. Now, the input path is connected to that line voltage, okay, and you know that the line voltage is almost equal to 220 volt. And you see the some characteristics or some part or some tools that I use here in primary part, that is EP. EP is called here primary electromotive force. NP is here primary total number of coil. NP is here primary total number of coil. IP equal to primary current, and here RP equal to primary resistance, and here RP equal to primary resistance. I also see for the case of secondary coil or for the case of secondary part. Okay, in secondary part here ES equal to secondary number of coil, secondary voltage. ES equal to here what? Secondary voltage. Okay, on output voltage. Or you see that if you want to apply 220 volt as input voltage, so this 220 volt is sometimes called as the ES, EP. So EP equal to the input voltage, and that must be equal to 220 volt. Okay, and then ES. ES equal to here the output voltage from the transformer. Okay, so this transformer can supply you the voltage that is called the output voltage is ES, and then NS. NS equal to in secondary part the total number of coil. NS equal to in secondary part the total number of coil. IS equal to here total current in secondary coil. IS equal to total current in secondary coil, and here RS equal to total resistance, total value of resistance in secondary coil. Okay, now I'm going to apply some mathematical function in primary coil at first and then in secondary coil. Okay, you know that boys and girls, when you apply input voltage, then inside the primary coil there are a induced electromotive force or voltage is produced. There are a induced electromotive force or voltage is produced. Okay, so the value of that induced electromotive force EP, the value of this induced electromotive force what? EP. Okay, if I'm going to apply here Ohm's law, Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction in primary coil, then I can say that, so Faraday's law, if I am to apply at primary coil, then EP, this EP will equal to, this EP will equal to minus then here 10P, and then delta phi divided by delta T, and this one is equation number 1. If I'm going to say that, what are the tools that write down here? Okay, the first one is here EP. Here EP is called, here EP is called primary voltage or primary electromotive force, EMF, primary electromotive force or primary voltage. And then here NP. If I say that the NP equal to primary number of coil in primary part of the transformer. Okay, in the primary part of the transformer. Okay, there are some coil here. Okay, so in that particular coil there, the total number of coil in primary part, I repeat, the total number of coil in primary part. Okay, this part will be called as NP. So NP equal to the primary total number of coil. primary total number of coil. Total number of coil, or just is a coiling. Okay. Now delta phi. Delta phi means here change of magnetic flux. Change of magnetic flux. Delta phi equals to here change of magnetic flux. Okay. So you know that magnetic flux, the change that takes part in the magnetic flux, okay, is called delta phi. You see, boys and girls, when this AC current passes through any circular coil, when this AC current passes through any circular coil, okay, then you see this circular coil can produce a flux, magnetic flux, okay, and this change of magnetic flux in the circular coil, in the primary part of the circular coil, is known as delta phi, and this change takes place for the case of time delta t. This change takes place for the case of time delta t. Okay. Now, if I'm going to apply this Faraday's law in secondary coil, then for the case of secondary coil, I can say here ES will equal to minus NS. ES will equal to minus NS. Then I can say delta phi divided by delta t. And this also called equation number 2. Now, ES equal to what? ES equal to the output voltage. It must be AC voltage, okay? It must be the AC voltage, okay? So here ES equal to called the output AC voltage. I repeat, the output AC voltage is called ES. And the NS equal to number of coil in the secondary part. Delta phi is the total change of magnetic flux in the secondary coil. For the case of time, delta t. So I can say here ES equal to secondary. ES equal to secondary electromotive force. ES equal to secondary electromotive force. Okay. Now NS equal to what? NS equal to total number of coil in secondary part. NS equal to what? Total number of coil in secondary part. Okay. So the coil that stay in the secondary part, that is called ES. That is NS. So NS equal to total or secondary total number of coil. Okay. In secondary part, the total number of coil is called NS, and then delta phi equal to obviously my previous one, the change of flux, and delta t equal to this change of flux takes place by the time delta t. This change of flux takes place by the time delta t. Okay. So this too is the it's called Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. In the case of at first primary coil, is applicable for the case of equation number 1, and for the case of secondary coil is applicable for the case of equation number 2. Okay. Now divide this equation 1 by equation 2. Divide this equation 1 by equation 2. Okay. So if you divide this equation 1 by equation 2, okay, you can say that EP divided by ES will equal to, at first for the case of primary coil, EP, that is minus NP then delta phi divided by delta t. Minus NP then what? Delta phi divided by delta t. Okay. And then ES. In the case of ES, okay, I can say that here NS then delta phi divided by delta t. NS then multiplied by delta phi divided by delta t. Okay. Now boys and girls, you see this negative sign will cancel out. Okay, first one, and second one, this rate of change of magnetic flux will also cancel out. Okay, this rate of change of magnetic flux will also cancel out. Okay, and then we can say that here EP divided by ES will equal to NP divided by NS, and this one is equation number 3. And this third equation, I repeat, this third equation is called the formula of a transformer. Okay, and this formula establishes a relation between voltage or electromotive force with number of coil. Voltage and electromotive force with number of coil for the case of primary coil, primary part, and for the case of secondary part. Okay. Now, you see, a step-down transformer can raise the output voltage than that of input voltage. Okay. Again, a step-down transformer. Okay. The secondary voltage is smaller than that of primary voltage. Okay. So it just manipulates the voltage. So when this manipulates the voltage, okay, then what about current? So for example, a step-down transformer can raise the output voltage, can raise the output voltage. Then if I ask you, then what about the output current? The answer is very simple. That is, a transformer is a machine, is a device, okay? If it can raise voltage, then current must decreases, okay? Current must be decreased here, okay? Because their electrical power for the case of primary coil and for the case of secondary coil must be remain same. I repeat, the electrical power or electrical strength must remain same, okay? So when output voltage increases, then I can say that obviously its output current decreases. I repeat, when output voltage increases, then obviously I can say that its output current decreases, okay? So in this particular case, I can say that its output current decreases, okay? In this particular case, obviously I can say that its output current decreases, okay? That's why I can say a transformer always support or always follow the conservation law of power. Its electrical power in the case of primary coil will equal to electrical power in the case of secondary coil, okay? And these two power will equal, okay? So we can say that power for primary coil will equal to electrical power for secondary coil. I can say here P of P will equal to electrical power for the case of primary coil, and P of S will equal to electrical power for the case of secondary coil. Okay. So first one indicate the electrical power for primary coil, and second one indicate that the electrical power for the case of secondary coil. Okay. Now primary power. You see the formula of electrical power P equal to, at first I need to use here P equal to VI. P equal to VI, because you know that in my last lectures you see that electric power P and this power P will equal to V into I. This power P equal to V into I. Since electrical power P equal to V into I, okay, then obviously I must say that power P, primary power P will equal to the secondary power P. Okay, and the case of primary power is the product of must be the primary electromotive force with that primary current. Must be the primary electromotive force with that primary current. Okay, so I can say that P of Q will equal to primary electromotive force with that primary current will equal to primary electromotive force with that primary current. Primary electromotive force with that primary current, okay, will equal to, in the case of secondary part, okay, I can say here secondary electromotive force with that here secondary current. Secondary electromotive force with that here secondary current, okay. Now if I divide EP by ES, then I can say that this will equal to here IS divided by IP. Then I can say that here IS divided by IP. Okay, IS divided by IP. Okay, now this one is equation number 4. This one is equation number 4. If you consider equation 3, then you see that EP by ES equal to NP divided by NS. And if you consider equation number 4, then you can also say that EP by ES equal to IS divided by IP. So in totally, you can say that EP by ES equal to NP by NS equal to IS by IP. Now, I'm going to establish the relation between electromotive force with resistance. electromotive force with resistance. Okay. Again, if I erase this, now I'm going to establish the relation between electromotive force and resistance for the case of transformer. Okay. So what? Electromotive force and here resistance. You can say also the primary power will equal to secondary power. Okay. Now power P will equal to V square divided by R. V equal to here, V equal to here electromotive force. V equal to here, V equal to here electromotive force. Okay. So here V is replaced by electromotive force E and resistance is R. You know, in this case there are two branches. One is for the case of primary coil and another is for the case of secondary coil. Okay. So if you consider the primary coil, then you say that electromotive force E is replaced by EP and resistance R is replaced by RP. And if you consider the secondary coil, okay, electromotive force E is replaced by ES and resistance R is replaced by RS and resistance R is replaced by RS. Okay. Now primary coil. Now for the case of primary coil, okay, primary coil, okay, the power P of P will equal to V square by R. That means V equal to here primary electromotive force square and divided by R. R means here primary resistance. R means here primary resistance. Now, what about for the case of secondary part? For the case of secondary part, okay, I can say here ES square divided by here RS. ES square divided by here RS. Okay. Well, very good. Now, I'm going to divide EP by ES. So EP divided by ES. Okay. And there is square here. So square will equal to, I can say, RP divided by RS. You see here, if you want to replace this ES and if RP, ES and RP, then you see ES goes in this direction, ES goes in this direction, and RP, this goes in this direction. Okay. So this ES and RP are replaced each other. Okay. Are replaced each other in this particular part section. Okay. Now you are going to find out the value of EP by ES, and this will equal to root over RP by RS. This will equal to root over RP by RS, and this one is equation number 5. Now I'm going to give you, listen to me, I'm going to give you the mathematical formula. It's a general formula, okay, of a transformer by considering equation number 3, 4, 5. Boys and girls, if you consider equation number 3, 4, 5, then you can say that the general mathematical formula of a transformer, will equal to here EP divided by ES will equal to NP divided by NS will equal to IS divided by IP will equal to root over RP divided by RS. So I can say in total part, or in total, this is the general formula of a transformer. I can say in total part, this is the general formula of a transformer. Okay. So if I consider a transformer, I repeat, if I consider a transformer, then the general formula of transformer is here EP by ES equal to NP by NS equal to IS by IP, and this will equal to root over RP by RS, and this will equal to root over RP by RS. Okay, and this formula is called the general formula of a transformer. This formula is called the general formula of a transformer. Okay, now this formula is called the general formula of a transformer. Okay, now boys and girls, I'm going to find out mathematically, listen to me, mathematically the condition for step up and step down transformer. I repeat, I'm going to find out mathematically the condition for step up and step down transformer. Okay. Now, in next segment, I'm going to find out the main condition for step up transformer. How can you make a step up transformer? Okay. So step up. So step up transformers. Step up transformer. Okay. Now listen, girls. Step up transformer. Okay. The main thing is here. How can I make this? The main thing is here. How can I make this step up transformer? Okay. Let's see. Boys and girls, at first, the general formula EP divided by ES will equal to NP divided by NS. I just take this part only, okay? I just take this part only, okay? Now, you can see, for the case of step up transformer, okay? Obviously, secondary voltage must be greater than primary voltage. You see, this is the basic definition of step up transformer, okay? So, in the case of step up transformer, the output voltage or the secondary voltage that comes out from the transformer, this voltage must be greater than that of the primary voltage. This voltage must be greater than that of the primary voltage, okay? So in this case, the secondary voltage is greater than that of primary voltage, okay? Now, EP by S, this part will be equal to NP by NS. If I say EPS is greater than EP, so I can also say that ES divided by EP, it must be greater than 1. ES divided by EP, it must be greater than 1. Okay? Now, if I make my equation just like this, say, if I use this equation or write down this equation or rewrite this equation, here, at first ES divided by EP will equal to then NS divided by NP. Will equal to then NS divided by NP. Okay? Will equal to then NS divided by NP. Okay? Now, boys and girls, this part ES divided by EP. If this part is greater than 1 from my given condition, if this part is greater than 1 from my given condition, okay, then obviously I can say that here, NS divided by NP, NS divided by NP, this section also must be greater than 1. I repeat, this section also must be greater than 1. So here, NS by NP, this one is must be greater than 1. Since here, boys and girls, since here ES by EP is greater than 1. So since ES by EP is greater than 1, then obviously you can say that NS by NP must be greater than 1. Okay, now in next segment, we can say here NS. We can say here NS. This NS is greater than NP. This condition indicates you that you must make number of coils in secondary part. You must make number of coil in secondary part must be greater than that of primary part. You must make coiling here in secondary part, okay, or secondary coil. This secondary coil or secondary turns, must be greater than the primary number of coil. So how can you make a step-up transformer at your home? You just collect some part of iron plate here, and then on this iron plate, okay, you're just going to coiling here, okay. In primary part, number of coil must be less than that of secondary part, okay. If you want to establish this, or if you can establish this, okay, then you can say that this transformer becomes a step-up transformer, okay. This transformer becomes a step-up transformer, okay. Now, in my next step, I'm going to know how can I make a step-down transformer. How can I make a step-down transformer, okay. Let's see, how can I make this? So step down transformer. So step down transformer. Okay. Now, boys and girls, in the case of a step down transformer, okay, in the case of a step down transformer, okay, I can say that EP divided by ES will equal to NP divided by NS. And in this particular section here, primary voltage must be greater than secondary voltage. Here, primary voltage must be greater than secondary voltage. Okay, you see, for the case of a step down transformer, here secondary voltage, okay, is less than that of primary voltage. Or you can say that primary voltage, this primary voltage is must be greater than that of secondary voltage. Okay, so EP is greater than ES. Now, if you divide EP by ES, then you can say that this part must be greater than 1. Then you can say that this part must be greater than 1. So when EP by ES is greater than 1, so when EP by ES is greater than 1, then obviously you can say that here NP by NS is also greater than 1. You also say that here NP by NS is also greater than 1. Is also greater than 1. Now, I can say from here NP by NS. Here NP by NS is greater than 1. So, by cross multiplication, you can say NP greater than NS. So, if you can make that primary number of coil is greater than secondary number of coil. If you can make that primary number of coil is greater than that of secondary number of coil, okay, then this transformer becomes a step down transformer. Then this transformer becomes a step down transformer, okay. Now, after doing this class, boys and girls, after doing this class, you can say, or I'm going to summary of my today's class. So, summary of my today's class. After this class, you can say number 1, general formula of a transformer. You can explain the general formula of a transformer. The general formula of a transformer, okay, this is the first step, and then the second step. You can prepare a step up transformer, or you can produce a step up transformer, okay. So, you know the condition of step up transformer. And number 3, you also can explain the condition of step down transformer. You also can explain the condition of step down transformer. You also can explain the step down transformer, okay, but the condition of step down transformer. Thank you very much. Stay at home and stay safe. Thank you.